When you think of off-road and hybrids, what vehicle comes to mind? Hey guys, welcome to Chris Mack. In this review, I have this 2024 facelifted JL Wrangler with the Rubicon X Package. Man, that was a mouthful. But I'm going to show you all the various different features, take it on a drive, and give you guys my final verdict. But let's go ahead and get into this electrified review. You know what? Let's do remote start this time. Lock the doors. It's already on because it's a hybrid. It's quiet. Shh. Let's get into this review, shall we? Let's go. Looking on the outside of the 2024 Jeep Wrangler, this is your key fob right here. You do have lock, unlock, as well as a remote start function and a panic button. You do have a switchblade key right there on the end of the key fob, and Jeep is inscripted on the back. As equipped, this vehicle is $75,000. This is a fully loaded Rubicon X trim, which is more of a off-road fully loaded trim. You can also get a high altitude version, which is a more street or on-road based version with the fully loaded trim as well, but this is $75,000. Let me show you around the exterior of this. Now, this does have a Firecracker Red exterior for $595. Coming around to the front end design of this Wrangler, you can see you do have the 7 vertical slats, signifying that this is a Jeep. This is an old homage from one of their original vehicles. You do have an integrated off-road camera right there, 4XC badging right there, which is in this blue or electric blue exterior, signifying this is electrified. I do also like the aggressive hood vents up top, making it look menacing. You do have full LED lighting up front, so you have your LED daytime running lights up top with your turn signals down below. Also for your LED daytime running lights is the ring around the headlights, LED low as well as high beams right there. This one also does have LED fog lights down below. Coming around to the wheels, these are a 17-inch wheel with silver pocket finish, blacked out wheels with a 285 with all-terrain, more off-road based tire. Ground clearance is about 10.8 inches as this one's equipped. You can also see the blue accents right there with the Rubicon spelled out on the hood. Your charging port is right here. This is rated to get about 22 miles of electric range. It has a 17.3 kilowatt hour battery. Keyless entry is for the front door handles. You can also see the one-touch sky roof up top for $3,295, which will actually give you the power equipment right there to open up the full roof. Gas tank is also on the driver's side as well. You have full LED tail lights. You can see the turn signal over here on this side with your running light on this side, and your reverse light is right here in the middle. 4XC badging at the back. You can also see a little more of the blue accents, this being electrified. You have a single exit exhaust right there and a tow hook down below. This is rated to tow about 3,500 pounds as this one is equipped as a full-size spare tire with your reverse camera right here, and your third brake light is right there. Opening the trunk or tailgate of the Wrangler, you will find 27.7 cubic feet of space. If you do fold down the second row seats, which do fold down in a 40-60 fashion with these handles right here on each side, it'll expand it to 67 cubic feet of space. You do have a 12-volt charger right here on this side, as well as a gas tank door release right there if it so happens to get stuck. A subwoofer for the 12-speaker Alpine sound system, which we will try out a audio test in a minute. And a little bit more storage down below. Now the battery does live behind these second row seats. You can also see the one-touch sky roof from back here. Just lets in so much light. Now let me show you guys under the hood. It's funny, it got me before on the first take where I was actually looking in the interior, but it's right here, these two releases. So now that I know, let me show you guys. Does have a prop rod, so there we go, boom. Looking under the hood of the Wrangler 4XC, you have a 2-liter turbo 4-cylinder connected with a 17.3 kilowatt hour battery or a 400-volt lithium-ion battery, which makes a total system output of 375 horsepower with 470 pound-foot of torque. It's ready to get 22 miles of all-electric range. And in save mode or gas mode, it gets 20 miles to the gallon combined. If you use hybrid mode, it'll get 49 mpg combined. It is connected to a 8-speed automatic transmission. Vehicle weight's about 5,200 pounds, as this one is equipped. Woo. She is hot. And my voice just cracked. But now, let me show you guys the interior of the Wrangler 4xe. Get a 3/4 view for you guys. Boom. We're gonna start out in the back seats. Now I had the seat adjusted for my frame at 5'6", and the seat's a little bit further back than I would typically sit, but I have about 3 to 4 inches of legroom. As far as headroom goes, well, with the sky roof it's endless, but with it closed, let's say I have about maybe 2 inches of headroom. You got storage pockets right here with some air vents. Your window controls are right here, the little toggles, which I'm still getting used to. You do have some more charging ports down here, 2 USB-A ports as well as 2 USB-C ports, and a 12 volt or 115 volt AC charger right there. Got a little spot right there for your phone. You can see right there, you got a little mini Jeep right here. It's the little details in these Jeeps, I gotta tell you guys. Center console right here with 2 cup holders. And then your LED illumination is right here on both sides with some more speakers for this 12-speaker Alpine system. Here's a quick look to the front cabin. But let's go ahead and hit the cockpit of this Wrangler and see where all the action happens. One thing I also do want to point out is the blue stitching right there on the door panels as well as around the interior of this vehicle. Definitely a little bit harder to get into with this 10.8 inches of ground clearance. But looking at the cockpit of this Wrangler, the biggest change for 2024 is incorporation of power seats with this Rubicon X trim for $8,500. So you do have a 8-way power seat with a 4-way lumbar support right here. Looking over here at the door panels, you do have soft touch right here and here with your lock and unlock features right there, as well as your mirror controls. And you can see a couple of buttons over here on this side, along with your manual tilt and telescoping steering wheel right here. You have light controls over here. You can put it in a auto mode, on, cluster illumination right here, your gas tank release, and you do have your main driving modes right here. So you have a hybrid mode for both the gas engine as well as the electric battery. Electric for just the electric battery, and you have a e-save, so it will prioritize the engine and save the electric miles. And another speaker right here, your gas and brake pedal. And as stated before, ground clearance is about 10.8 inches. So at 5'6", definitely does take a little bit of effort to get in. But looking in front of you, you do have this 3-spoke steering wheel right here with the lovely blue accents. It is heated. Now looking over here on this side of the stock, you can control your 7-inch cluster right here in front of you. So you can change between your speed, vehicle information, driver assist, miles per gallon, range, and all your various different modes right here. It's basically the same. Also your media function right there you can see for the wireless CarPlay. But we'll leave up the speedo. Very familiar stuff from first when the JL Wrangler debuted for the 2018 model year. Looking over here on this side, you have your light controls as well as your wiper controls on this stock. Now speaking of this side of the steering wheel, this is how you can control your driver assist information. So you have your adaptive cruise controls and so on, which we will try on the road. I am excited to see. I did have a few miles of seat time to try it out, and I have to say it does work pretty well. Looking over here, you do have your auto dimming rearview mirror with your one-touch sky control button right here. I'm going to close that because it's baking, but you can see this lets in so much light. Basically just hold down the button and it'll close. You also do have your telematic information right there, SOS and assist information up top. But looking a little bit more at this infotainment, this is the new Uconnect 5. So you have a 12.3-inch touchscreen, which is standard across the entire Jeep lineup. Your home button is right there. You also have wireless CarPlay and Android Auto. So I do want to try a quick audio test with this 12 speaker Alpine sound system. See how good it is.
Let's go. I'm like an addict, do I gotta have it. I ain't even playing, got a really bad habit. If it moves, gotta grab it, fuse like a magnet. Lose, won't have it till I'm doomed in a casket. I ain't playing, got a weird mind. If you work 8 hours, I'ma work 9.
As you can see, the 12 speaker sound system actually does have a lot of bass and sound quality. I'll probably put it in line with offerings like Bose sound systems, by like the 12 speaker sound systems that you see in mainstream and luxury vehicles. But I'm looking a little bit more at this infotainment. As I stated before, you have wireless CarPlay and Android Auto. You have your various different sources right there for your AM, FM, Sirius XM radio, rewinding information, and so on. Audio settings over here on this side. Your comfort right there is for your climate control settings inside your infotainment. You also do have physical buttons down below, which I will show you guys in a second. This does also incorporate built-in navigation, so let's try that out. As you can see, navigation starts up with no problem at all. It's very easy to use and intuitive. As stated before, Apple CarPlay for the wireless CarPlay and Android Auto. You have your vehicle settings right here. So you have a e-hybrid, so it'll show you basically if the battery is running or the engine's running, and it'll show you where it's sending power at. Your driving history, schedule, e-save, your dashboard functions right here. This is for your off-road pages, so it'll show you the steering angle, the transfer cases, activated sway bars, and the front and rear axle locker, and so on. Accessory gauges right there for your temperature, pitch roll right there in degrees. You also have a front view camera or integrated off-road camera, as in Jeep terms, so it'll show you a front view when you are driving. And I will try that out on the road as well, which actually does work at certain speeds. But let me show you the front view, make sure if you're going off-roading you don't hit anything. And also activate the rear camera as well. Boom. But going back to your vehicle settings, you have controls right there for your cameras, as well as the mirror dimmer or auto dimming rear mirror up top. Settings right there. You also change the various different modes of the screen, so I can put it in a dark mode. You see it actually darken up, which honestly looks nice. But I think definitely during the daytime, light mode is perfect. Profile settings, your driver assist or automatic emergency braking. You have rear parking sensors, blind spot information, so you can have the chime as well as the light. Hill start assist, tire fill assist, your hybrid settings right there, clock, other settings right there to control your infotainment, and so on. Door controls, you also do have seat comfort, so now that this has power seats, it can automatically move back for ease of exit and entry when you are in the vehicle. Audio functions, software updates, and so on. Down here, when you pull this down, you have a shortcut button right there, so you can have preset shortcut buttons and you can configure this. This also does have built-in Wi-Fi hotspot as well, and Hey Alexa functions. You change the settings right there with your time. And you do also have a shortcut button for your climate function, so if I hit that button right there, you can pull up your climate on this side, as well as the single stage heated steering wheel and 3-stage heated front seats. More shortcut buttons up there as far as time and Wi-Fi, so on. Over here is your built-in apps. You have your media apps right here. Comfort apps for your heating, for the seats, as well as the steering wheel. Your comfort for your climate control, navigation settings, and so on. But yeah, I have to say this new Uconnect 5 is very intuitive, and I just like the graphics. It's quick and snappy. But look a little bit further down on this Uconnect 5 infotainment, you do have a push button start over here on this side with your volume control, as well as the power on for the media. But you do have your climate control functions right here, so your front and rear defrost, heated steering wheel, as well as 3-stage heated seats. You can control your climate right there, and it'll show you in the infotainment when you're turning up the airspeed. I'm sweating like a pig, man. I'm gonna leave that alone for a little bit. But you have your mute button right there. You do have your regen braking, so if I hit this off, you see it say max regen off, max regen on. Your traction control as well as parking sensors. You do have a off-road cruise control right there with your screen off button right there. Boom. And then your tune knob over here on this side. Down here is your automatic window controls. for both the front, the rear manuals, and you can also shut down on. Well, you also put on your child lock right here. You have media functions right here, or connectivity into the infotainment. You have an aux cord with a USB-C port, as well as a USB-A port, and a 12-volt over here on this side. Looking even further down, you do have all your different off-road controls. So you can put on the front and rear sway bar, or just the rear. You can lock it. You have a off-road plus sway bar control right there, and the auxiliary buttons right there, 1, 2, 3, and 4. You can also configure the all-wheel drive system between 2 high, 4 high part-time, put it in a neutral mode, as well as a 4 low mode. But I'm not too much of a off-road, I'm not too knowledgeable of off-road stuff, but yeah. Please inform me about this little button thing right here. Put it into reverse. You do have a backup camera, which does take up half of the screen with trajectory lines. Kind of is missing a 360 camera. That would probably tie in the whole camera thing right there. But you have neutral drive and a manual mode over here on this side. And you do have a leather stitch parking brake right here. 2 cup holders, which are a pretty good size. You put like your phone or something right here in storage. Looking at your center console, you have a little cubby right here. And then your main cubby right here with a USB-A port. And that air feels good. It's almost 100 out there, man. But this is your window sticker. You can see all the various different information. Feel free to pause the video. I will also put all the information in the description below, but you can see the Rubicon X Package for $8,500, which does add all of the stuff right here, as well as the one-touch sky roof right there. Total MSRP of $75,065. You can see all the MPG figures right here. But yeah, I'll put all this in the description below. You can also see the blue accents, as well as the Rubicon badging right here. Your LED illumination is actually up top and it's behind you, which is kind of odd. But look at this blue stitching though around the interior. It's nice. You have a glove box right there, which surprisingly, because you have a speaker right there, they had to make it a little bit smaller, but I'm surprised how small it is. And of course, you do have a grab bar right there, a little bit more stitching. But let's go ahead and take the Wrangler 4XE for a drive and see how she does. I'm going to do something impractical for a minute. Open up the one-touch sky roof. Definitely does give you this open air experience when you have it all the way open. And imagine you can also take off the doors as well. All right, we're good. We're good. But setting off any 24 Wrangler, let's speak about visibility. Visibility is great. You have a more upright kind of standpoint when you are driving this vehicle, or even sitting passenger seat. You can see very good over the hood, as well as out the side mirrors and out the back as well. Now, one thing I want to point out for 2024, which is probably one of the biggest changes, is power seats. So I have pretty good seat comfort. These are Nappa leather seats on an 8-way power seat with a 4-way lumbar support for both the driver and the front passenger as well. You have heated seats as well as a heated steering wheel. So as far as seat amenities, you're definitely covered. Even though I do wish this price point did have cool seats, but it's definitely a small gripe. This one-touch sky roof just lets in so much light. Right now we are in hybrid mode, so it uses both the electric motor as well as the gas engine. You do have a electric mode right there, which temporarily is unavailable because we have 0 miles of electric range right now. And you also have a e-save mode right here, so that'll prioritize the gas engine and save the electric battery. But for now, we'll just leave it in its hybrid mode. But yeah, this open top experience definitely does give me convertible vibes having this open right now. Now on lower end Jeeps, you have like removable panels, which you have to like latch off, but this is just one touch, push for a button right there. But just driving around the city, the 8-speed automatic is very smooth shifting. Not that many jerks or nothing with the shifting or funny because this is a hybrid, but yeah. I'm gonna speak up because the wind noise is getting a little bit crazy in here, so yeah. But this Wrangler, being the Rubicon X trim, is the highest trim they can get with more all the off-road pretensions or options. Now the high altitude version is the more on-road or street version, so you have more street-oriented tires, street-focused suspension, and so on. So you got a little more of the street amenities with that version. You also have regen braking, which you can use right here by hitting this button. So that turns it off, and you can put it on a regen max function. So let me try the regen braking. So let's just say you're driving around, you let off. You can see right there it's charging the battery, illuminating in the green in the center cluster right here. Now we are going to try an acceleration up there, so I'm going to go ahead and close this one-touch sky roof. You definitely can't get a lot of wind buffeting and wind noise when you are going above 60-ish miles per hour. So I would say this is definitely limited to the city when you want to have this open. Just right there at the push of a button. But let's try a quick acceleration. So I'm going to go traction off. We're in hybrid mode, so we'll use basically the electric battery as well as the electric motor. Let's get a little bit more straight piece of road before we do it. I am noticing too, it does have active noise cancellation. The interior is definitely quieter than the pre-facelift JL Wranglers. We'll just try it right here. Hybrid mode. Whoa! And that was 60 miles an hour in like no time. That felt about the high 6-second range. Jeep says about 6.8 seconds, and that feels bang on right. What you really feel is the torque feel with the electric motor. It has 370 combined horsepower or net horsepower and 470 pound-foot of torque. Vehicle weighs about 5,200 pounds. This does have the full suite of driver assist information. So you got the lane keeping assist, the blind spot, automatic emergency braking, and so on. I should have off-roaded over that, whatever that was in the road. That'd have been cool. You also do have an integrated off-road camera, or a forward-facing camera right there, so you can see all your different various information right here in your line of sight. You also do have trajectory lines when you do turn, as well as a clean mode right there, so you use like a little spray nozzle to clean that. And you do also have a rear view camera right there as well, which you can put on when you are driving, so I can basically look at the people behind me. Hey, you. This thing definitely is a corner car for sure. I can tell you guys that. 5,200 pounds, off-road tires, man. On the back roads, give me a Scat Pack or a Hellcat. You can definitely feel the mass on the road though. It's a very wide vehicle. It's about 188 inches long, so it's basically the same size as a mid-sized family sedan. So length is not really a problem, but the width with these big tires, 285 with tires, the fenders, everything's just a wide vehicle. Let's try some more of this regen braking. That's definitely some strong stuff. You'll definitely be able to charge up this 17.3 kilowatt hour battery in no time. Just test it out again. I'm gonna go out the brake. Not touching the brakes, nothing. I definitely do like the regen braking. It's the perfect amount of, what was it, GTI? Mark 7.5 Rabbit. But back to the review before I get too distracted. But the regen braking is definitely the perfect amount. It'll definitely save up your brakes, you charge your battery. And I have to say it's the perfect amount. Some cars you use the regen braking, it gets to be too much where it's too aggressive. This is the perfect amount of regen. Since we're in hybrid mode, this is rated to get about 49 miles to the gallon combined. And I definitely do believe that when you do drive a little bit more conservative, you drive a little more conservative and you use a little bit more of this regen right here, which works so well. This sky roof is so sick, guys. Like, convertible life vibes for real. Look at that. Let's just leave it open for a minute till we get to the highway. This is nice. We're going to close that back up. There we go. Closing that back up. We're on hybrid mode. I want to try one more acceleration. Brake boosting again. Alright, that's good enough. Make me feel like I'm gonna roll over. Oh my goodness. But traction back on and just chilling again. You can definitely tell the active noise cancellation is working inside of the cabin. Definitely more quieter than before. And keep in mind, this one actually does have the off-road tires. This is not even the one with the more street-oriented tires, so that should be even more quiet. That mid-range torque, you really feel it. The 470 pound-foot of it, even those vehicles 5,200 pounds, you can really feel it just take off. If I open up my e-hybrid page right here, I can put up a power flow meter, so it'll show you basically where the electric motor is sending the power to, as well as the gas engine right here. I have to say, I do like the blue accents though around this interior. It just makes it pop. Now, I don't know if the blue really goes with the Firecracker Red exterior that this does have, but a black, maybe a gray, bueno. Or even like an acid green, maybe. Now it does have a manual mode as well when you put the shifter over here on this side. And yes, the manual mode will let you bang off the rev limit and do all that. But I recommend shifting about the 5,700 RPM range before it hits, because it has a slight delay. But I mean, this is not a sporty vehicle, so it's fine. Just leaving it automatic and just chill. I do like how seamless the engine comes on. It's not like a whole shudder or shake. When it comes back alive, it's just like smooth, a gradual transition. All right, let's hit the highway. Do like a quick 0 to maybe 80. See what she does. This thing hauls, man. Like, this is more than enough power. But as we chill on the highway, let's go ahead and throw on our adaptive cruise control. So I'll set the speeds using the camera up top to follow the traffic in front of you. You have up to four following distances right there. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Let's pull up to like 80. See right there, chilling on the highway. Driver assist works just fine. You also have blind spot monitor as well as automatic emergency braking, so you have the full suite of driver assist that you would need. Though I wish you did have a lane keeping assist. But I mean, the car's very chill and it's honestly not too loud on the highway. I can actually hear myself talking. Like in the last Wrangler review I did, it was a 392 with the off-road tires. All you hear was like a whole bunch of tire noise when you're just hauling. This is like the perfect amount. It's a perfect middle ground between a little bit of tire noise, but noise canceling is really working and makes this a lot quieter. But we're gonna turn that off. Get some passing power. Now, in my mind, I would say this is probably second place among the entire range of the Wrangler lineup. To me, the 392 is still up there as my favorite, followed by this 4xe version for sure. And then probably I would say the 4-cylinder and then the 3.6. But I just have my top favorite too, and I'll kind of leave it like that. Is the cabin a luxury car quiet at highway speeds? No, but I have to say it's definitely a big improvement versus a 23 model year or the pre-facelift JL from like 2018 to 2023. Look at this, I don't even have to use the brake. The region just bring me right back down. I have to say, this is probably the smartest option though. But as we get a little bit closer to the dealership, I do want to get into the conclusion of what I think about this Wrangler. Now, overall, I'd like the entire package. I have to say, if you were to get a Wrangler, I highly recommend probably getting this package, as this has basically everything you'll need on a daily basis. You get decent miles to the gallon. It's 20 mpg in gas-only mode or e-safe. If you use the hybrid mode, it's 49 mpg. And in electric, you have 22 miles of electric range. So if you charge up the 17.3 kilowatt hour battery and it commutes under 22 miles, you can basically drive an all electric and save on gas, which I think is brilliant. And it definitely does work in this application, I'm being honest. Now, other things I want to talk about too, big improvements, as I stated before, when we first started the POV Drive, the power seats, lovely addition, and that means that they actually work if you're off-roading or underwater or whatever you do with your Wrangler. But You got that, heated seats, heated steering wheel, so you have the full package of seat comfort and everything you'll basically need. Now the biggest change, or the star of this facelifted JL Wrangler, is the Uconnect 5 infotainment. This 12.3-inch display, which comes standard across the board. This thing is phenomenal. The graphics, I remember I saw this in the Dodge, what was it? The Hornet, yeah, the Dodge Hornet. So it's the Dodge Hornet I did a review on, and seeing the new graphics of this Uconnect 5, just phenomenal, top notch. Just the graphics, the quality, the response, the pickup. Everything's there. And you do also have wireless CarPlay and Android Auto as well. So connectivity is definitely there.